Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Got one of those stories that really makes you wonder, could have turned out much worse. From KETV and azfamily.com, family trespasses in man's home and shocking vacation rental scam. And here we're getting the story from the people who were trespassing, believe it or not, because they were tricked. So an Iowa family's vacation turned into a nightmare when they say a fake profile on a popular vacation rental website caused them to trespass in another man's home. The other man had nothing to do with this, other than it was his house. So the woman said she believed she rented a Council Bluffs home on VRBO, vacation rental by owner. But as she later found out, the listing was not posted by the actual homeowner. And even though they didn't get any check-in details, she and her family arrived at the home November 24th and searched for a lockbox with a key to get in. So her mother found an unlocked side door, so the family went in and began dividing up rooms. It seems strange, though, because they did try messaging the host but didn't hear anything back. And then they realized the beds weren't made and there were dishes in the sink. And they thought, well, this is just weird. Now, I've heard stories about people who rented homes on Airbnb or VRBO, and the place was a mess. So that right there would not be a drop-dead indicator that something is absolutely wrong here. So they thought, well, this is just weird. The homeowner was out of town, but a friend checking in the house found the family inside and said, okay, and called the owner over the phone, and the owner spoke to, apparently, these people, and these people then realized they'd been scammed. And she said, I was totally mortified, couldn't get out of that house fast enough. Now, the homeowner says he feels violated, but he's glad that things didn't turn out worse. He goes, I'm glad they picked my house. What if they picked a different homeowner's house who, I don't know, had a gun? Well, he might think they're trespassers. And so this guy's apparently got a little bit of a sense of humor about it because he understands it wasn't their fault. But both sides here said that they want VRBO to take more precautions to avoid scams like this. The homeowner said he told VRBO agents he had pictures and wanted the fake listing taken down, but was repeatedly asked for proof that it was actually his house. How do we know that? They basically called me everything except a liar. It was an unbelievable response I was getting, the owner said. Meanwhile, VRBO has since removed the listing, saying in a statement that the home was mistakenly listed on VRBO and has been removed from our platform. The company said it also suspended the spam account that set it up. So now the homeowner said he wants the company to replace his bedding and pay for home cleaning. And now some people are going to say, Steve, if they simply walked in and walked out, well, number one, they may have been there a bit longer than that. But number two, if somebody comes into your home and they're there for a while you're not there, you don't know. And you have the right to be a little skeptical. I think you do. I think you do. So VRBO did issue the renters a refund and even paid for alternative lodging for them. Meanwhile, she said she's still waiting for the refund to appear on her credit card statement. So she's told it's coming, but she said, I'm hopeful that I will get all of my charges recouped. But the bigger picture is, how do they not know about this scam going on? Are they aware of it? What are they doing to make sure this doesn't happen? And it doesn't take rocket science to figure out what's going on here. VRBO, Airbnb, and these other places are just simply huge. They're huge. And they've got so many accounts and so many users, both people listing homes and people renting homes, that it's very, very easy to list something there. And they can't go out and send an inspector out to every single location and say, okay, show us the paperwork to prove you own this house. The large, vast majority of it is being done, in essence, on the honor system. And so once in a while, one sneaks through. And it's scary what could have happened. So the Better Business Bureau said it's seen thousands of vacation rental scams across the country. In this case, it was pure coincidence that the family was able to enter the house. And I've also heard before where somebody's got a house that they're not occupying and somebody figures it out. And so they break in, get keys made, and then start renting it out. Now, I've not heard of that with VRBO, but I've heard of that simply with somebody taking out an ad on Craigslist going, house for rent. And they go, yeah, I showed up and there's a guy there who had keys. He broke in yesterday and had them made. I mean, whatever. Or he changed the locks. Everything lined up such that the prospective customer could actually enter the building is very atypical and frankly a little bit shocking, said the vice president of communications. The BBB said it works with the company and the victim in cases like this and suggests researching the property and lister before paying for a rental. Meanwhile, they added it's important to report scams to the BBB so others don't fall victim. The Better Business Bureau is one of those things. It's an independent organization. I know a lot of people who've heard of them and go, oh, I'm going to complain to the BBB. A lot of times if you complain to the Better Business Bureau and the people you complain about respond, they won't do anything. So I don't have a lot of faith in their abilities, but that's the way the story went. Otherwise, there's no way for your community to know there's something out there, and they should be on the lookout for it. Meanwhile, VRBO says it has a book with confidence guarantee that helps protect travelers who book and pay for a property through the VRBO website or app. This includes payment protection against fraudulent listings, lodging assistance if travelers are unable to check in, and access to 24/7 customer service, said the company in a statement. So there you go. The real question is, did the scammer in this case get any money? Because it sounds like this got shut down so quickly that they probably didn't. But I don't know. I don't know how quickly the payments get processed there. You can see why this happens. And again, when you're renting through Airbnb or VRBO, you're going to be going a bit on faith that the person who is renting something and listing it on the site is legitimately in control of what they claim they have. And I don't know how often this happens, but I bet it happens more often than we know about. It's just how often does it wind up in the news? And yeah, you can imagine how if you walked into the wrong house, bad things can happen. And we've heard of that happening before, just not in this exact setting. So the family, I believe they're from Arizona, but rented a home in Iowa over the Thanksgiving weekend. And this is what happened to them. So it was a shocking vacation rental scam. And the family wound up trespassing in another man's home. And they honestly thought they had the right to be there. And you can imagine, again, how all kinds of things could happen. So from azfamily.com and KETV, that's the story. Got to be careful with those rentals online. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. One advantage of talking to yourself is that you know at least somebody's listening.